Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and addictive world of video games, a medium that has captivated us for over half a century. Gaming has evolved remarkably since its humble beginnings in 1958 with the creation of the first video game, Tennis for Two. We've journeyed from simple 2D simulations to immersive 3D worlds that we can step into with a pair of goggles. As a dedicated gamer myself, I can attest to the immense joy and adventure that video games bring into our lives. They've been a significant part of my life, and I believe that everyone should experience the magic of gaming. However, if you've been following this channel for a while, you might sense where this video is headed. While video games offer an incredible escape from reality, there are moments when the lines between virtual and real-life consequences blur. Today, we'll be exploring the darker side of gaming, how this beloved pastime can sometimes lead to fatal outcomes. Stay tuned as we delve into the incidents that highlight the lethal risks lurking behind the screen. Oh, and I almost forgot. If you enjoyed the video and would like to see more, make sure you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss an upload. Now let's get into it. If you were part of the mobile gaming community in 2016, you probably remember the sensation of Pokemon Go. It took the world by storm, and I vividly recall the buzz surrounding it. Everyone seemed enthralled, constantly sharing their latest catches and adventures. Although I wasn't a diehard Pokemon fan, the excitement was infectious enough to even pull me in. So I decided to download the game, set up my character, I laced up my shoes, I stepped outside, eager to embark on my journey to become the world's greatest Pokemon trainer. 15 minutes later, I was bored and I went back home. My brief stint as a Pokemon master cut short. For most, Pokemon Go offered a fun and innovative augmented reality experience, hailed as a revolutionary breakthrough in mobile gaming. However, its groundbreaking success in bringing augmented reality to the mainstream was built on the foundation of another game, Ingress. Which brings us to the tragic incident at Poolbeg Lighthouse.
Hello, new agents. Well, let's just save that for another time, shall we? My mission today is to share with you an incredibly powerful tool, Ingress Prime. It's a game. A game that will take you to interesting places in the world all around you and let you join with other players in a secret war to control a mysterious substance called XM. XM, exotic matter. An accidental discovery at CERN and one with great promise. Is XM a threat? Something to be contained and studied like the Resistance believe? Or could it shape the future of humanity and allow us to reach our true potential, as the Enlightened claim? Either way, the only way forward is to get out there, pick a side, and join the fight to control the portals. Download Ingress Prime now and start exploring the secret world around you, but stay alert. You'll have to outsmart and outplay the agents of the other faction. Cooperate and strategize with agents all around the world. There are no limits to what you might accomplish. It may feel like a game, but it's deeper and more important than you could possibly imagine. Someday, when the stars align just right, I'll see you out on the field. Until then, agents, do your factions proud, because this world, and possibly others too, are counting on you.
A leading Irish player of Ingress, Francis Maxwell, aged 48, from Portacarron, Oughterard, Co Galloway, met a tragic end during a late-night mission. As an avid Ingress player, Maxwell was deeply engrossed in capturing and defending one of his team's portals when he passed away. His lifeless body was discovered in the waters near Poolbeg Pier at noon on September 25, 2015. The night before, on September 24th, Maxwell set out to Poolbeg Pier around 2:30 a.m. In his final communications, he checked in on Google Hangouts at 2:31 a.m., commenting on the chilly weather. The night was clear and moonlit, and the waters calm, according to the testimonies at Dublin Coroner's Court. Sadly, this was the last time that anyone heard from him. Detectives believe that Maxwell and his teammates had been linking portals between Tyrellstown, Rockabill and Scaries, and Poolberg Lighthouse earlier that night. Although their task was completed by 11 p.m., Maxwell returned to the pier after their opponents undid some of their work. One of the investigators suggested that Maxwell might have tripped on raised water runoff grates while navigating the pier, possibly distracted by his phone. Doctors concluded that Maxwell sustained a skull fracture from a fall at the pier, leading to him drowning. Coroner Dr. Brian Farrell delivered a verdict of death by misadventure, citing the inherent risk of the game. The pier is open on both sides. The surface was uneven. It was nighttime. There was no lights. It was bound to happen. Investigators also noted that the raised grates had since been removed from the pier. Unfortunately, Maxwell's phone was never recovered. Poolbeg Lighthouse had been designated as a portal by Ingress players. Portals are typically historic sites or notable landmarks, and players must be within 20 feet to interact with them. The M50 water tower, previously a portal, had been removed due to similar safety concerns. Maxwell's wife, Alma Joyce, described him as one of Ireland's top Ingress players. His enthusiasm for the game was evident, and he often spoke about it passionately. Joyce remembered him as a night owl who enjoyed driving, nature, and the outdoors. Most importantly, he was a devoted father to their son Lucas. Lucas brought him pure joy. He was a beautiful, intelligent, independent soul with a great laugh. Life is a living nightmare without him, Joyce shared in her statement to the court. Joyce also mentioned that her husband frequently played Ingress in her presence and encouraged her to join him. Oughterard, including her father's home, was surrounded by many portals, reflecting Maxwell's deep connection to the game. Dr. Farrell expressed his intent to formally notify Niantic Incorporated as well as the Dublin Port authorities about the incident. The tragic death of Francis Maxwell serves as a stark reminder of the real-world risks associated with augmented reality games. In a bid to prevent similar tragedies, Niantic, the developers behind both Ingress and Pokemon Go, has since implemented safety features in their games. Pokemon Go now prompts players to remain aware of their surroundings, discouraging risky behavior while gaming. Notifications pop up, regularly reminding players to stay alert, look up from their screens, and avoid dangerous areas. These measures aim to blend the captivating experience of augmented reality games with a heightened awareness of the physical world, ensuring that the digital adventures remain safe and enjoyable. Maxwell's passion for Ingress and his dedication to the game illustrate the deep engagement augmented reality games can inspire. However, his untimely death underscores the importance of balancing virtual pursuits with physical safety, a lesson Niantic and the gaming community have taken to their hearts in their ongoing effort to protect players. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, gaming has this unique ability to deliver you into immersive realms, where imagination and reality intertwine. For millions, they offer a joyous escape, a gateway to fantastical adventures and social camaraderie. But what happens when the line between virtual triumphs and real-life despair become perilously blurred? Tonight, we delve into a gripping tale of one man's descent into the dark abyss of video game addiction, entangled with the silent shadows of depression. As the digital landscapes consumed his days and nights, the world outside of his window seemed to fade into obscurity. This is not just a story about the allure of virtual quests, but a profound exploration of the fragile human psyche under siege. Join us as we examine how a once vibrant life was overshadowed by the relentless pull of the digital realm, leading to choices and consequences that no one could have foreseen. Our story begins on February 12, 1980, in Hudson, Wisconsin. Elizabeth Woolley, a strong, independent woman with a career in information technology, gave birth to a baby boy, and she named him Shawn Woolley. Despite his father not being in the picture, Shawn lived a relatively comfortable life, with most, if not all, of his needs met. Growing up, Shawn was described by his teachers as a kind and caring child, He was also quite intelligent, consistently earning good grades in school. However, things began to change when he reached the 6th grade. His mother noticed a sharp decline in his academic performance, prompting her to seek help from a specialist. Shawn was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder and grand mal seizures, for which he was prescribed medication. At age 13, he was placed in a smaller school that could accommodate his needs, and he saw a significant improvement. It was during this time that his interest in video games began to develop further, with favorite titles like Doom, Pac-Man, and Mortal Kombat. At age 15, Shawn got his first jobs at a Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, where he was consistently praised for his excellent work. Shawn eventually graduated from high school and met his father for the first time at his graduation ceremony. Life was good, but Shawn knew it was time to face the challenges of the real world, which made him a little nervous. Nevertheless, he enrolled in St. Paul Technical College to study graphic arts. However, he struggled with these courses, losing interest, and dropped out after only 6 months, forcing him to find a job. He found a position at Home Depot, but did not last long due to a hostile work environment created by his manager, according to him. This series of events marked the beginning of Shawn's mental decline. On February 12, 2000, his 20th birthday, Shawn made a decision that would change his life forever. He purchased a brand new copy of EverQuest. EverQuest was a groundbreaking MMORPG that launched on March 16, 1999. Developed by Variant Interactive and published by Sony Online Entertainment, EverQuest quickly became a sensation. You might be wondering what made it so addictive. The game featured an immersive world full of detailed zones, dungeons, and cities, inviting endless exploration. Social interaction was key, with players forming groups to tackle challenges, fostering strong community bonds. Character progression was deeply rewarding, with players leveling up, acquiring new skills, and obtaining rare items. The challenging gameplay demanded strategic planning and skill, appealing to gamers who love overcoming tough obstacles. A vibrant economy and trading system added another layer of engagement, while the persistent world created a sense of reality and consequence. Financially, EverQuest was a triumph. By the end of 1999, it had sold over 225,000 copies and boasted around 200,000 active subscribers, generating an estimated 30 to 50 million in its first year. EverQuest set the standard for MMORPGs, influencing countless future games with its addictive nature, social dynamics, and immersive world. Shawn bought the game with his birthday money, and to say that he fell in love with the game is an understatement. Soon, Shawn was playing the game whenever he could, oblivious to the fact that his addiction was beginning to manifest. Around that same time that he started getting into EverQuest, he began working at a local Domino's pizza. He bought himself a car and moved out of his mother's house. This is when his mother began to notice changes in her son's behavior. Shawn started to socially and physically isolate himself from the world and stopped taking the medication that kept his epilepsy in check. This resulted in him suffering his first seizure in 13 years while binging the game. Despite sustaining a few bruises and mental fatigue, he still showed up to work that same day. Due to him binging the game, the exhaustion caught up with him during his shift, and he had to ask his boss if he could leave early to get some rest. For some unknown reason, his boss decided not to send Shawn home and instead send someone else. This decision actually infuriated Shawn, leading him to storm out mid-shift, quitting on the spot. Some time passed, and Shawn still wasn't working. His addiction to EverQuest had tightened its grip on him, leading him to play the game almost 24/7. He stopped paying his rent and resorted to stealing food just to eat. According to Elizabeth, his isolation worsened. He completely neglected his apartment, content living in a pigsty composed of fast food wrappers and pizza boxes. In September 2000, he was evicted after not paying rent for 2 months and had no other option but to move back in with his mother. The landlord reported to Liz that all he ever saw Shawn doing was playing the game. Desperate to understand what was happening to her son, Liz sought professional help. Unfortunately, video game addiction was not recognized as a disorder until June 2018, rendering the initial session unfruitful. The therapist insisted that Shawn did not have a problem with the video game and that it was just a phase or something. For some reason, Shawn believed that he should be able to play the game full time with financial support from his mother. This belief strained their relationship, eventually leading Elizabeth to arrange for Shawn to stay at a nearby motel.
He thought he should be able to play the game the rest of his life because that's what he liked. And that included a job. And I'm going like, I think you need to get a job to pay the bills and to get money. And you know, if you want to do something you like, get a hobby. But it does not necessarily have to be your job. But he just thought that if he didn't like it, he wasn't going to do it. He was out of my house because I was getting so frustrated and upset that I couldn't cope. And, you know, so it was like either me or him, and he needed to go because nothing was working at our house, so I made him leave the house.
Still desperate to help her son, Liz had him see a different doctor, who suspected that Shawn was suffering from major depressive disorder, dysthymia, and passive dependency schizoid personality characteristics.
And I think that he ended up experiencing that he was out of control in his life. And because of the seizures, that he didn't know what was going to happen next, so to speak. And he ended up becoming more and more avoidant, just in his behavior in general, because he wasn't sure of himself.
With this diagnosis, he qualified for a program at a group home that ensured he had regular social interaction, took his medication, and attended all doctor's appointments. This structure and supervision kept him away from EverQuest temporarily. However, this arrangement did little to quell the constant craving for his digital fix. He frequently walked 5 miles to his mother's house to play the game until she caught him one day. From then on, Liz did everything in her power to prevent him from accessing the game while she wasn't around. The doctors, who were supposed to help, were actually enabling his addiction. She resorted to taking Shawn's keyboard to work, but he simply bought another one, as he had a new job at the local Murphy's Pizza. Despite the group home program's failure to address his gaming obsession, they did help Shawn find employment and secure an apartment, much to Liz's dismay. She believed Shawn needed the structure and the supervision they offered to keep his obsession in check, but her concerns were disregarded. Numerous instances of Shawn's addiction affecting his personal life occurred. One notable example was when he left his brother's wedding early to play EverQuest. Neglecting his epilepsy medication led to more seizures, sometimes resulting in injury. He was even hospitalized after a severe seizure, prompting Liz and the rest of the family to cut him off from the game completely. As long as the computer was in Liz's house, he would not be able to play. This decision upset Shawn, but he eventually purchased his own computer for his apartment, ensuring no one could stop him from playing. Though he managed to keep his job this time, he almost immediately isolated himself from the world. His family could not reach him, and he let his apartment turn into a shit sty. He refused visitors, ignored phone calls from caseworkers, and stopped attending doctor's appointments. On November 11th, 2001, Liz hosted a harvest dinner and expected Shawn to show up. After he didn't appear, she called his job at the pizza place, knowing it was the only way to contact him. His boss informed her that Shawn had not shown up for days, which was unusual for him. Worried, Liz drove to his apartment to check on him. After coordinating with the landlord, they unlocked the front door, which was still secured by a security chain. This managed to get Shawn to come to the door. He lied about finding a new job at Walmart, which Liz later discovered was untrue. Shawn quit his job to play EverQuest full-time. On November 21st, 2001, Liz visited the apartment again. After getting the landlord to open the door, she could not fully open it due to the security chain. She tried to get Shawn to come to the door, but failed, deciding to try again the next day when she came to pick him up for Thanksgiving dinner. The next day, Liz arrived to find Shawn's door still open from the previous day, accompanied by a strong, unidentified smell. Terrified, she rushed home to get the tools to cut through the security chain and gain access to the apartment. Once inside, she immediately trudged through the filth to reach Shawn's bedroom. She found her son sitting motionless at the computer, EverQuest still running, with a .22 caliber hunting rifle by his side. Shawn had shot himself in the head, ending his life.
I would say that there was always the possibility that Shawn could commit suicide. His depression got to a place where he had so much emotional instability and was so vulnerable that that was the only way out for him.
Shawn's death devastated his family and coworkers. Liz channeled all of her grief into raising awareness about video game addiction. She wrote a book titled Your Son Did Not Die in Vain. She started a website and YouTube channel called Online Gamers Anonymous. This self-help fellowship provides support to recovering gamers, their families, loved ones, and anyone concerned about the impact of gaming addiction. The page offers a wealth of resources, including an open discussion, educational materials, support, and referrals. They understand how excessive gaming can be powerful, cunning, baffling, and destructive, often devastating the lives of gamers and those close to them. They advocate for a 12-step program of recovery, and their videos delve into many aspects of gaming addiction, providing insight and support to those in the journey of recovery. Explore their page to find out valuable information and join their community in the fight against gaming addiction. In conclusion, the story of Shawn Woolley is a tragic reminder of the devastating impact of video game addiction. I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to Shawn's friends and family. May his story raise awareness and help others who may be struggling with similar issues. For more information about this topic, please refer to the sources listed in the description. And that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the chilling world of video games gone wrong. If you found the video insightful, don't forget to check out the sources linked in the description for more detailed information. I'd like to give a huge thank you to all 84 of you amazing subscribers. Your support means the world to me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and join our growing community. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter @CallMeStinks for more updates, behind the scenes content, and join the conversation, and like my shitty tweets. Lastly, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, of course, and share it with your friends. Let's keep the discussion going. Stay safe, keep gaming responsibly, and with all that being said, thank you for watching, and have a good night.